Hello everybody, welcome back to another music making tutorial. I am Clormo, and if you're here, you want to learn about the Phat FX, which is another addition to Logic Pro X 10.4. The Phat FX is essentially a multi-effect module, which is particularly or mostly designed for drum, bass, and guitar parts, and it will add warmth and punch and more color to the signal when needed. Obviously, it will depend on the usage that you want to give to it. But with that being said, it can also be used for anything else that you want to do. And there's really no simple way for me to explain to you just in words what this will do. So without wasting too much time, let's just go into the practical demonstration of it. And this is what the plugin looks like. So in my session right now, I have 3 different tracks with just a bass track, a drums track, and a rhythm guitar track, and I have a Phat FX on all of them. The way that you access it, you go to audio effects, go to multi effects, Phat FX, and there you have it. I also have my mixing console down here just to quickly access all of them, and I'm just going to be explaining to you what each does and then demo it as we go so that you can see how this is going to help you. I think it's very useful right out of the box. I'm going to tell you that. So the way that the Phat FX module is set up, I'm going to use the term simple maybe a lot in this video. I don't mean that it's simple, that it's easy, super easy to use, or just that you're gonna turn knobs here and there and everything's gonna come out magically. Is that the way that it's set up, it's clean, it's understandable in my opinion. So just bear with me if I use the term simple a lot and you go like, I really don't understand that well what you're doing. You know, that's what I mean by the term simple. And you have 2 main areas. So you have your processors, which are all these modules here around the XY pad, and then you have a modulators section down here at the bottom. Then your master controls, which also include the XY pad, although you can argue that the XY pad is more like a modulator. And then down here you have all your processors, as you will see, right? All of these ones that I'm signaling with my cursor are represented down here as a global control, and because they work in series, so you are processing the signal through each of these as you go. The nice thing about it, and one of the first things that I wanted to show you, is that you can rearrange your processors as however you wish, and the signal is going to be processed in that way. So not only are you going to notice changes as you change your parameters in your processors and your modulators, but then down here, depending on the path that the signal will follow through those processors, will give you also a different feel, a different color to your sound. And then the way that we start here, we have a bandpass filter, and that's just simply gonna let you set a frequency range, and you have different characteristics for the bandpass that you can use. I'm not gonna go into detail explaining all of them because I have kind of explained some of those already in my alchemy videos. In fact, I'm gonna link to one of the alchemy videos in the description so that you can get a feeling for some of those things. And here in the bandpass, you can set the frequency. So that's the frequency that are going to be allowed to pass are going to be set up here with the sliders. And then you have different types of resolutions or resolution sliders, which is going to determine just the sonic character that you're going to impart around that signal range. You have a distortion module, which it's composed of 3 different distortions, which you can use together if you want to. As you see right now, they're at 0. If I turn those on, and depending on the amount that I give them, then that's what's gonna be used. So in essence, I can have the 3 working together, or just 1 or 2, or however. And we also have different characteristics here. For distortion, again, I have explained that before. Then you have a mod effects area. This is just going to give you some kind of a chorus effects, and you have different characteristics, and simple to use. You just have a mixing knob and then a rate for that chorus effect to take over your signal, a bass enhancer, again with different characteristics, and you can set up a frequency to tune, and then the amount of bass enhancement that you want to give to your sound. Take note of this knob right here, of this slider, this knob I should say. The reason being that some people, especially beat makers, would tend to ask like, what's my frequency range that covers my bass area? This right here is telling you a good starting point for that. So this goes up to 150 hertz. So keep that in mind when you're making beats, making sounds that you want to enhance your bass, not only through this type of plugins and effects, but also through EQing. This is the range that we're talking about. We're talking about up to 150 hertz. Of course, that's debatable. There's people that may be a little bit more picky about that. I just decide to be simpler. Then you have a compressor module, which different characteristics. The important part here, in my opinion, to kind of learn, although that the compressor is something that you should be familiar with at this point, is that you have in your characteristics, the BCA type of models are more suited for like bass guitars and low frequency signals, which is why I have it set up here in this track. You're gonna see that in the drums I have more of a Phat model, which is more for mid-range, and that's just random that I wanted to put it on the drums, but just to explain the concept. So it's ideal for anything in that regard for drums, guitars, bass. And then the Opto module, it's more suited for guitars and vocals. And then you also have some other legacy type of compressors like Clip, Platinum, and Classic. The filter, it's something that I have explained also in my Alchemy video, which is going to be in the description. You have the whole gamut of different filters, and depending on which one you set, your parameters are going to change a little bit. I explained that in the Alchemy videos as well, so please refer to that because I just want to get into demonstrating this. Then you have your modulators down here, which is also something that I have explained before. And what, for those of you that do not know what modulation is, and just giving you a quick overview right here, you have you can set a particular target to modulate, and it's gonna, the list is gonna depend on what you have active. If you see here down the list, all of these ones that are grayed out is because they're off here. The different processors have their own on and off button, which is cool because it's simple to relate to what you have active. And then when you are trying to target something for modulation, then you know what you have available to you based on the type of sound and processing of the signal that you have done in this previous step. And then you have your two LFOs here. You have an envelope follower, so that's your modulation section. Then your master, it's as usual, you have not only your output volume and a mixing knob and input, but you have a built-in limiter, and you only have two characteristics to check here as far as the master control. So now let's just demonstrate with the different tracks and play with some of the parameters and see the results. So let's start with the bass part. Let's just listen to it as is. I'm gonna take off the Phat FX. So now I'm gonna turn it on in 3, 2, 1. So other than that, how already just turning it on just by the bandpass, since I'm letting a lot of high frequency content to pass, the tonality of that bass line just change. I'm gonna adjust that. So actually, what I'm gonna do is quickly go to the bass enhancer. I'm gonna put a little bit of distortion. I'm gonna keep the first one as the squared because that's gonna give me the sound that I'm trying to show you. And yeah, I'm gonna leave that as a downsampler. Maybe that's too much. And then the tube, which is another type of more aggressive distortion. Let's see, let's put some modulation here. Maybe a heavy. Not that heavy, let's mix it in. And let's see. I didn't talk to you about the XY pad, but the XY pad is also something that has been discussed prior, and we can see this as another way to target some of the parameters and then control them real time with this here. So notice they're on right now and I'm targeting low cutoff and high cutoff, but I can choose more from this list, so you can potentially have 4 different targets. So that's good for real-time type of things, like for DJs and stuff, but it's also good for some automation. So let's use a low pass, let's see, an edgy. So you have typically for these 3 different lists, just as a benefit for those that don't know, you're always gonna have kind of the same controls, and then you can set your cutoff frequency, and the resonance obviously is gonna boost it up, but you also have some drive that you can add. But I'm gonna mix that a little bit less. I'm gonna let my compressor work a little bit. Compress a little bit the signal and put the volume up a little bit. And now I'm gonna start rearranging down here. I'm gonna let my compressor work last. I'm not really using the band reject, so I'm just gonna put it here. Yeah, I'm gonna let my distortion work first, but I want my tube to work second. And let's see, I'm gonna want my bass enhancer to be first before this distortion. I'm compressing at the end, putting some more mod effects, and now I'm gonna add some just simple modulation. Maybe not to the cutoff. I'm gonna do the bandpass. Oops. Or let's see, instead of that, how about, yeah, let's just do that distortion. A little bit less release. And now you see that it's how it works. If I make it, give it more release, it will take longer for it to modulate. Bit less attack, but I'm gonna keep it there. Then on my LFO, let's say I'm gonna use a ramp up, but not on the filter cutoff though. I want to use it on the, where is my tube? And this is synced with the tempo, or you can make it a rate. I'm gonna use a rate for this one. So it's it's ramping up, right? And then on my LFO 2, I'm going to use a triangle. And I'm gonna keep it there. I'm gonna keep the resonance. Yeah, I'm gonna leave the master controls as is. So that's just a quick example for a bass part. Now I'm gonna move into the drum part. Let's just mute this. And I'm gonna be a little bit faster here with the edits because I think you already got the idea. So that way we can close the video out. So that's how that little drum part sounds. I'm gonna turn this on in 3, 2, 1. Quickly, let's put the compressor on. Yeah, it's a little bit too much distortion. Maybe I'll turn down the reject. Yeah, that sounds better. I'm not gonna put distortion here, but I'll do a soft. Enhance the bass a little bit. Let's see, let's put again the compressor at the end. Yep, let's have the filter there. Yep, that sounds maybe the bass enhancer a little bit earlier. Not gonna modulate that, but so we can argue that sounds better than with the Phat FX, but again, just to show that it does work, and it does give us some more freedom to work around. And last but not least, let's work with this. And if you're wondering, that guitar is it's an Apple loop. It's not me playing. Can play guitar for shit. No distortion there, that has already enough distortion. I do want to put some LFO on the drive. Yep, a little bit faster. Put my compressor at the end. So, okay, and I have everything off. But that is what the Phat FX lets you do. Quick reminder, if you are watching me for the first time and you found this useful, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Clormo, so I can reach more people. And that way I can help other guys like you, then other gals like you that came here to watch this tutorial. Also make sure that you want to stay up to date with everything that I'm doing to pay me a visit at clormoindustries.com. We'll see what the next video brings. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do, but this is all for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, people.